Welcome everybody to Vlogmas in July. I hope you've had a fantastic first week of July. For me here, it's just gone 5 o'clock in the morning on July 1st. I'm showered, shaved, ready for the gym. So let's get opening the advent calendar. This is the advent calendar by Heidi at Vegan Yarn. Full disclosure, I've opened day one. Before I decided to start this channel, I had balled the first two. So this is the colorway for day one, a lovely green gold. And this is going to be, again, the Dragon Belly Shawl by Johanna Lindahl. I'm hoping I can jump in today, get some crocheting done, and you'll see the first part of that very shortly. I'm back from the gym and I'm wearing a finished object. This is the Kronos Shawl by Katya Novikova, and it's made in Garn Manufacture Lola Classic in the colorway Glacier. You make it by working 4 rows of filet crochet and a solid row of DC, and then front post, back post bars on the whole length of the scarf. This one here is a gift for a work friend, so I've made it in colors pretty close to our company logo colors. Because it's a gift, I usually like to gift them in the ball band, just so they can see care instructions. Here's the ball band, Garn Manufacture Lola. It's in German, but luckily the care instructions are symbols, so he should be right with that. And just like that, the day is done. Here's my progress on the Advent shawl, and this is the Dragon Belly Shawl by Johanna Lindahl. You can see why they call it the Dragon Belly with those little scales there. I'm going to go throw something up on YouTube and work on Joycal Square 1. I'll be back tomorrow to unbox day 2 of the Advent calendar by Vegan Yarns. Good morning. It's the 2nd of July. I'm just back from a run. On Wednesdays we do interval work at the track, so I'm a little bit sore right now after gym yesterday. But right now it's time to open day 2 of the Advent calendar by Heidi at Vegan Yarn. So like I mentioned earlier, I've already opened this one and balled it. And today we have this gold color. So this is the same as day 1, but no green in this one. So it's only the gold. So I'll work on that one tonight. And last night before I went to bed, I worked on Joycal 2025, day 1. And this is as far as I got before I called it a night. I don't think I'm going to check in tonight. So this is the final check-in for the 2nd of July. I'll be back for opening day 3. It's the 3rd of July. For me, it's very near the end of the night. So I'm going to show you the progress on my projects. We'll open the Advent calendar, and then I'm going to get to crocheting until it's time for bed. So first up is the Dragon Belly Shawl, and I've finished day 2. This is my progress so far. So it's getting to about bandana size now. Next up is Joycal 2025, and I'm still on square 1. I've got 4 rows of puff stitch now. So I'm going to go, I think, for a total of 7, and then we'll measure that. This is going to determine the size of the squares in the rest of the blanket. And now on to day 3 of the Advent calendar. I haven't balled these ones yet, so they're still in hanks. And there we go. This is a sort of a lighter version again of the gold we had in day 2. And I think I've gotten very lucky with the lighting I have set up here. It's showing on the camera very true to real life. I think this is going to look great against day 2 of the Dragon Belly. I think they're fading in quite nice. Alright, I'm going to get crocheting, and I will see you tomorrow. Welcome to July 4, and happy Independence Day for any Americans that may be watching. I hope you had a day full of wonderful celebrations, and that led into a great weekend. We're now halfway through the first week of Vlogmas in July. Today, some yarn came in the mail, so I'm going to show you that, along with opening the Advent calendar from Heidi at Vegan Yarns. First up is acquisitions. You might notice a few themes with my yarn purchases. So the shop that I buy from, the brands that I buy, and the type of yarn. So first up, the shop that I buy from is Bellarmé Yarns down on the Bellarine Peninsula in Victoria. The brands that I buy mainly are a German company called Garn Manufacture and a Swedish company called Skepius. So that's what you can actually see behind me. On this side here, this is all Garn Manufactura Lola, and on this side is VV Cal. I'll show that one later. That's in Skepius Katona. So for this first acquisition, these are going to be Ilusion scarves, Ilusion knitting scarves, and this one is going to be worked in Lola terracotta and beige. I haven't read the pattern yet. It's a fair way off casting on, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to be working 2 rows of the terracotta, 2 rows of the beige, and I don't know how to put videos or pictures into my video, so I'll link the patterns below. And this one here is another Ilusion knitting scarf, and it's blue and white. Onto the advent calendar. So we're on day 4. I've opened this one before, but I haven't balled it. So day 4, where are we? Here we go. And this one is, maybe I can describe it as highlighter green. There you go there. Great color. Very vibrant. And considering that these very light greens or yellows, they don't really show up even in protein-based yarns, let alone cellulose yarns. So I'm going to ball this up, go work on it. I'll go work on the dragon belly, and I'll check back in for final check-in tonight. I'm back with the final check-in of day 4. This is the end of day 4 on the dragon belly shawl. I'm loving the way this fade is working up. But while I was working on that, I realized I forgot to talk about the type of yarn I usually buy. So it's always plant-based. Typically I buy cotton or a cotton blend, cotton acrylic, that sort of thing. But I do work in other natural fibers, so linen or jute, and then also some cellulose fibers and synthetic fibers, so rayon from bamboo or acrylic. I don't tend to buy 100% acrylic a lot, but I do have some in the stash, so you might see some of that, those type of fibers come up. But as for right now, I'm going to grab my Joycal and go watch some TV and work on that. I will see you tomorrow. Welcome to the weekend. It's Saturday, July 5. The coffee shops all start opening in about 10 minutes or so. So I'm going to record this video, throw some shoes on, and in true millennial style, get myself a smashed avo. So let's get opening day 5 of the advent calendar. I've had to pre-open this one because they're quite hard to open. So here it is. It's a very similar color to yesterday. As I was working yesterday's yarn, I found some green splotches. So this one here looks like it doesn't have any of those green. But I'm going to go ball this up, work it into the dragon belly shawl, and do a final check-in later tonight. I'm back for the final check-in for day 5. I finished the advent project for today, and it turned out there wasn't too much of a difference between those 2 neon colors. I think maybe the day 5 had some less of these green streaks through, but I think I've said before, but I really like how Heidi was able to get some very vibrant colors in a cellulose yarn. I also worked on Joycal, so I worked out my recipe anyway for square 1, and this is based off of, or it's rather Siona based this off of her marshmallow washcloth series. And square 2, this was based off of Siona's cream pie washcloth series. So this one is worked in what's called wide double crochet. So instead of working the row into the top of the DC below, you work it into the space between the 2 stitches. So that's it for today. I think since I've worked out the recipe for square 1 and 2, I think I'm going to go work a whole bunch of them before I move on to squares 3 through 6. Good morning. It's day 6 of Vlogmas in July, and I'm back to open another box on the advent calendar. Before I do, I wanted to show you my progress on Joycal. Before I went to bed last night, I was able to get another puff square out. So now we're starting to see some of those pinks come through. Okay, onto the advent calendar. So day 6, what are we going to get? That is bright. So we've got another on this neon green base. That's stunning. They've done an awesome job getting these colors to show up on a cellulose fiber. Okay, so I'm going to go ball this up and work on this one today. I don't have too many plans today. Maybe go for a run, do a little bit of shopping, but apart from that, it's going to be all craft. So I will see you later on. Good evening. I'm back for the final check-in for day 6 of Vlogmas in July. I have a lot of things I want to show you today, so first up is going to be my progress up to day 6 of my advent calendar and the Dragon Belly shawl by Johanna Lindahl. I'm loving that we're going to have this this neon or this greeny color very prominent in the final shawl. I can't remember exactly where we're going next or how long we stay in these greens, but I'm super happy that these very vibrant colors are going to be so prominent. Next up is Joycal. I have another square done. This is square 2. This is the cream pie washcloth. And I'm putting them behind me up here, and just because I'm not going to remember, I think after I've done 30 of them, I'm not going to remember which is which, so I've made some little tags for them. I'll make them look a bit pretty too on the wall behind me. Next up, I want to show you one of my finished projects. This one is the 2022 VV Cal by Rachel Kimona in Siepius River Wash Stone Washed Color Packs. And the other half. So the reason I'm showing you that one is because I'm working on her little sister, the Katona Color Pack version. I've just sewn in this tile tonight, and I have actually 2 projects on the go, or 2 long-standing projects on the go. One is something I'm designing, which I can't show you too much of, but I've promised myself that I'm not going to put a tile on this project unless I put a hexagon on VV Cal Katona. So maybe that's as much as I can show you there. I'm hoping that in about a month or 2, that one will be up on Ravelry, and then I'll be able to show that. So that's it for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow for the last day of week 1. Good morning. It's July 7, and it's the last day of the first week of Vlogmas in July. Let's crack into opening the box for today. And we're staying with the greens. This looks very similar to yesterday's colour. I'm super happy that we're getting these very bright colours in the middle. So I'm going to go work this into my Dragon Belly, and I'll be back tonight with final check-in. Good evening, everyone. It's the final check-in for the first week of Vlogmas in July. I've really been liking making these videos, so I'm going to be back definitely for Vlogtober. Between the end of July and the start of October, I'm not too sure what the format is going to look like. Maybe weekly, bi-weekly, I'm not sure, but I've got plenty of time to think about that in the next 3 weeks of Vlogmas in July. A little bit of warning before I show you projects. I work in the mining industry, particularly in conveyors, and I've covered my hands in rubber cement. So you might see some black spots on my hands, but it's just glue. My hands are clean, it's just glue. Okay, so I'm going to show you now the end of day 7 for my advent calendar in the Dragon Belly shawl. The Dragon Belly shawl, every time I work on it, I think this is maybe number 3 or 4. Every time I work on it, I love the fabric. It's so fun to scrunch up and move in your hands. So I'm absolutely loving working this thing. These vibrant colors, I think they're going to start changing very shortly. I'm not sure if that's tomorrow or the day after. But while we've got them, I'm loving them, so I relish every moment. I did want to talk a little bit more this week about reasons why I'm starting this channel and inspirations, but I'm a little bit nervous still talking to the camera. So until I get a bit more comfortable speaking to a green dot, I think I might just keep the check-ins quite short. Thank you very much for watching. I've left where you can find me on other platforms in my bio: Ravelry, Strava. I do a little bit of family history research too, and I publish all my research on Wikitree, so I've put that up in the bio too. And everything that's been talked about in these videos, patterns, yarns, shops, all these kinds of things, everything will be linked in the description below. Thank you very much again, and I'll see you next week.